terrorism.
Bang, bang, bangs.
War.
He took to guns, in 1989.
Fear.
I kill you!
Governments, news organizations, and tour companies say these are reasons not to travel. The question is, should we take their word for it? In Deep Films takes a look at the risks and the rewards of traveling in one of the world's hotspots.
Mumbai, twice famous recently, once for Slumdog Millionaire and once for the attacks on November 26, 2008 that turned its downtown into a war zone, killing more than 170 people. Some of the victims were tourists.
The city, really the nation, was still in shock from the attacks when we arrived just a week after the catastrophe. We couldn't avoid the tragedy, even from the first taxi ride.
Power of the India.
Okay.
God is here everything we want and controlling in all India for the money.
So this is the symbol of that.
Yes.
Mumbai is.
It's capital of money.
Right.
God destroy the money.
For the attacks, the driver's wrath and fear was directed towards Pakistan, where officials agree the terrorists originated. He mentioned one more location as well.
Start first in
Kashmir.
full Kashmir.
More conversations about the Mumbai attacks followed. Hostelers trapped in the Salvation Army watched the massacre unfold before their eyes.
It's a robbery at first, because we should have gone to loopholes, we didn't because we were a bit drunk. As soon as we put our asses down here, fucking bang, 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 so it's firecrackers, it must be some festival and all that shit. And it stopped for about 4 or 5 minutes, and the crackers started again. Then you realise, the American guy said, that's gunshots. He said, I've heard gunshots before, so it's like, fucking hell it is, so we're out the window, bang, 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 and guns are going on. Still nobody knows what the full story is.
He watched and heard people running for their lives.
It was gunshots fire, and then we suddenly realised it was, you could hear it, I think probably on, say, the second or first floor. That's where we're looking over it. It was so intense, you knew the gunfire was right in front of it, and it must have been at the end of that floor. And then you could hear someone running away because the gunshot was like on the film, dying down.
The 26/11 Mumbai attacks hit the top of a long list of terrorism in India.
If you visit the US State Department's website about the Republic, the warnings are clear and sobering.
There is a high threat from terrorism throughout India, and terror attacks are a serious and growing threat.
Post 26/11, tourism declined significantly. Much was attributed to the poor world economy. But during our visit, safety was also a constant buzzword. Signs were everywhere.
Camera. He got something, machine gun. No. No, all the people start afraid of that.
Do you think Mumbai's changed since the attacks, or is it back to normal
Sorry, sir. Yeah, now the back to normal, yeah.
since the attacks?
Now back to normal.
Has tourism gone down at all?
Yeah, slightly down.
A little bit.
Not slightly, 50% down.
Do you think the attacks are going to continue, or is it going to change?
Yeah, we now planning to change.
Oh.
We're buying some new technology, the machine, to protect us.
The question of safety was why we came. Take a look at these shots.
Come on, Barbie, let's go party!
Was India really dangerous? Why was such horrific violence occurring here to begin with?
It goes so far back to partition, and actually pre-partition, which is what led to partition.
India's great leaders, Nehru and Gandhi, argued with the British to keep the west shoulder of the subcontinent, but to no avail. In 1947, the British split that land from India and made it Pakistan. Since that fateful decision, the two nations have gone to war 4 times.
India and Pakistan will never ever look at each other as just 2 countries.
But Pakistan, so no good,
They will just look at each other as this long, long history of tit for tat, horrible things that they've been doing to each other.
See, for an outsider,
outsider, it may seem that India is a very diverse country. Okay, but we all fight together. We all join our hands and fight with some problems which arise from the other countries. For example, we have a diversity of languages, religion, and regions. Okay, but if Pakistan make an attack, so we people will be united in a very strong
manner, and we will be fight with.
So there is a concealed sense of unity in India, and that's why it is called India is a country with unity.
Unity, but in diversity, of course.
And then the story becomes more complex. While many Indians believe Pakistan to be the root cause of all attacks against the country, 26/11 was simply the last straw. Experts on Indian society argue most terrorist violence is attributable to internal conflicts.
The Hindu, about 60% Hindu, and the 17% Muslim.
17%?
17, and 7% Christian. We have Jain people. 10 people. We have the Parsi people also.
The Muslim-Hindu divide is increasing rather than narrowing because you have communal parties in India that are pushing that divide. You've had a fair amount of terrorism from communities occurring in India, kind of making it worse, but having to do with other grievances that Muslims as a distinct minority in India are experiencing, and there is, in my eyes, tremendous discrimination.
Behind me is the Taj Mahal Palace Hotel in Mumbai, which was one of the center stages for the terrorist attacks. As you can see, the palace is getting ready to reopen.
The question is, when the hotel reopens, will it be a symbol of positive change where Indian nationals, tourists, everybody can look forward to a time of security and comfort?
Or is it going to be something negative where the violence escalates and Mumbai is not safe for tourists or residents?
We should not fear. After all, God is great. Just come over here, and we always welcome in India. Got it? हम आपका स्वागत करते हैं, आप हमेशा आइए, कोई बात नहीं. Don't worry about that. Fear, because fear is the main enemy of all of us.
The proper armed guys come in, you know, over here, sort of round here in Cardigan, and then they'd run down the little side street along here. Yeah, a bit of gunshots. So it's spasmodic, and then really, you know, grenades would go in and all sorts of explosions would be everywhere. And then,
it didn't feel dangerous.
That. No, it didn't. It's exciting. You know, you're watching all that going on, and you just want to see as much as you can, as much as you can, as much as you can.